Even if she says it's over, even if she's laughing with someone else, even if her photos look like she's healed, glowing, unbothered, she still thinks about you. And not just once in a while, not just when she's lonely, but in those quiet, invisible moments when the world isn't watching. Because memory doesn't care if she's moved on, and emotion isn't loyal to logic. You see, people assume that when someone walks away, it means they've erased everything. But the truth is rarely that clean. She didn't forget, she didn't unfeel, she just buried it under distractions, under the new guy who says all the right things, under her attempts to rebuild a version of herself that doesn't include you. But nothing real ever stays buried for long. It leaks, it echoes, and that's why even now, she still thinks about you. Not because she wants to go back, not because she's waiting on your text, but because a part of her never really left. Because some bonds don't end, they just become silent. Now listen carefully. Women process emotions differently than men. They don't always show what they feel when they feel it. They absorb, they reflect, they overthink. And when a woman feels deeply, she doesn't just move on. She analyzes every word, every silence, every look you gave her, not just during the relationship, but especially after. And while it might look like she's cold now, or distant, or even doing better, that's not the full picture. Women are experts at survival. They can carry pain with grace, hurt with a smile, and act indifferent while still drowning in unspoken emotions. She thinks about you because emotions, especially the unresolved ones, don't vanish. They transform, and when love turns into silence, it doesn't become emptiness, it becomes memory, and memories are dangerous because they can visit her at any hour, in the car, in the shower, right before sleep, or worse, right in the middle of someone else's embrace. She thinks about you not because she hasn't healed, but because you were real, and the mind doesn't forget real. Now let's go deeper. Why does she still think about you, specifically? Because something about you struck a different chord. Maybe it was the way you challenged her. Maybe it was the way you made her feel seen in moments she didn't even know she needed to be seen. Maybe it was the way you stayed calm when she was chaos, or the way you could make her feel feminine, safe, soft. In a world that demands she be hard, women remember emotional contrast. They don't miss the surface, they miss the experience, the emotional intensity. The way her heartbeat sped up when she saw your name, the way her guard dropped when she felt your presence. That is not something she forgets, even if she wants to. Because long after her body has moved on, her emotional memory still holds onto the imprint of how you made her feel. That's what she's chasing when she tries to replace you, and that's why she can't, because most men won't even try to understand her, let alone feel her. They chase her body, her beauty, her validation, but you touch something deeper, and that's what makes you unforgettable. But here's the twist. Just because she thinks about you doesn't mean she'll come back, and just because she feels doesn't mean she'll act on it. Some women will take these thoughts to their grave. They'll carry you in silence, wear you like perfume, subtle, invisible, lingering, because pride is a cage, and vulnerability is a threat. She might miss you every single day and still post pictures with someone else. She might cry herself to sleep and never let a soul know. She might fantasize about hearing from you again, but never dial your number, because for some women, remembering is safer than returning. Now here's what most men don't understand. Detachment doesn't mean she never cared, silence doesn't mean she's over it, and moving on doesn't mean she healed from it. Women move forward even with open wounds. They love through pain, they carry heartbreak with elegance. But inside, the emotional residue still lingers. She thinks about you when she sees something that reminds her of your energy. The smell of your cologne on a stranger, the laugh that sounds like yours, the old messages she swore she deleted but never did. It all comes back because you were a chapter, and some chapters don't get closed, they just stop being read. So what do you do with that truth? You let it be. You don't chase it. You don't try to reopen old wounds. You don't send that "I miss you" text at 2 a.m. because what she remembers is your strength, not your desperation. She thinks about who you were when you held your frame, when you led with clarity, when you made her feel like she was chosen, not begged for. And the moment you break that, the memory cracks. Women are emotionally intuitive. She'll feel if your energy has shifted into weakness. She'll notice if the man she remembers is gone. So don't ruin the image she still thinks about. Let her keep that version of you, the strong one, the composed one, the one she can't replicate. Because the truth is, she wants to. She's tried. But every time she thinks she's found someone like you, something feels off. It doesn't hit the same. It doesn't feel as deep. It doesn't pull her in the same way, because it's not you. And no matter how much time passes, she still thinks about that. Even if she's with someone else. Even if she swore she's over you. Even if she's blocked you, erased you, replaced you. She still thinks about the way your energy used to fill a room. She still wonders if you ever think about her too. And in her quietest moments, when no one else is watching, she still feels your presence. That's the power of real emotional connection. It doesn't end, it only transforms. So don't confuse her silence with absence. Don't mistake her distance for indifference. Sometimes the deepest love is the one that never gets spoken again. And sometimes the person who acts the coldest is the one who still burns the most. So what now? You keep going. Not to impress her, not to prove anything, but because growth is the only closure you'll ever need. She'll keep thinking about you, and the more you become the man you were always meant to be, the more her thoughts of you will intensify, not because you returned, but because you didn't need to. And in the end, that's what stays with her the most. Not the messages, not the memories, but the mystery, the quiet strength of a man who loved, who let go, and who never looked back. That's the version she replays. That's the version that haunts her. That's the version she still thinks about, even if she's moved on. And if this video spoke to something deep inside you, if you've been chasing someone who seems cold, distant, or already gone, then maybe it's time to stop chasing love and start becoming the kind of person it chases back. There's a reason she still thinks about you, but there's also a reason she pulled away. And until you understand both, you'll keep repeating the same patterns. That's why I created something for you. It's a guide called How to Stop Chasing Love and Make Them Chase You. It breaks down the psychology of detachment, attraction, and emotional power, so you never have to beg, overextend, or lose yourself again. If you're tired of always giving more than you get, if you want to learn how to hold your frame, rebuild your emotional power, and finally flip the dynamic, the link to the ebook is in the description below. Read it, not for them, but for you. Because the moment you stop chasing is the moment they start remembering you in a whole new way. Until next time, stay focused, stay grounded, and never forget, you are the one they don't forget.